Welcome to Chatting with Chuck. I'm your host, Chuck. My guest today is Mark Lockus. He's a manager of application engineering here at Advantech. And today we're going to talk about MQTT. So Mark, what exactly is MQTT?
Well, Chuck, MQTT is an Ethernet-based communication protocol. It is a publish-subscribe-based protocol versus the poll type of protocols we are used to in the industrial environment. It was designed as a lightweight messaging protocol to run on top of TCP/IP.
Okay, Mark, then why was MQTT created?
Well, MQTT was created specifically for SCADA applications. As Arlen Nipper says, one of the inventors of MQTT tells it, it was IBM doing a project for the Phillips 66 Oil Company. It was invented by Nipper and Dr. Andy Stanford Clark of IBM in 1999, just after AT&T was deregulated. Nipper said the deregulation of AT&T was significant because when it was regulated, it was also government subsidized, which meant AT&T would run phone lines virtually anywhere at any cost. But after deregulation, they could no longer count on getting phone lines installed cost effectively for their SCADA systems placed everywhere, and they had to rely on VSAT. Now, VSAT was a slow, limited bandwidth, and somewhat unreliable satellite communication system. Basically, it was this that created a need for a simple and compact protocol that could significantly reduce the load on the bandwidth.
But what does MQTT stand for?
Well, it is an acronym. It means Message Queue Telemetry Transport, sometimes said MQ Telemetry Transport, because the message queuing does not necessarily have to be a part of the protocol.
So what do you mean when you say publish-subscribe protocol?
Well, most engineers in the industrial automation field are used to typical field bus communication protocols such as Modbus RTU and TPC, Profibus and Profinet or DeviceNet, Ethernet IP, all of which are polled protocols or sometimes called request-response model protocols. In a polled model, a master must continuously poll various slave sensors if their state has changed. For instance, if the master is monitoring a temperature sensor, it must continuously ask the sensor for the temperature in order to detect any change. Whereas in the publish-subscribe model, the sensor will only send data unsolicited when the temperature changes. Obviously, this can significantly reduce the bandwidth load.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, MQTT is not a replacement for typical industrial protocols, but is a better fit for data handling in an automation environment that does not involve direct control.
Well, MQTT can be used in an automation control environment. For instance, it could be a good solution for a battery-powered wireless sensor with relatively infrequently changing data, especially if the data needs to go directly to the cloud. In this case, MQTT could conserve battery life by using the transmitter relatively infrequently, keep the traffic low for wireless bandwidth, and facilitate telemetry directly with the cloud based on data storage. However, MQTT is best applied with protocol gateways such as the Advantech EIS D110 or the Atom 3600. The Facebook messaging app uses MQTT for some functions which probably facilitate the MQTT concept of one publisher and many subscribers. This means that one of the best applications of MQTT is something like edge computing protocol gateway systems that are gathering data from various inputs such as sensors and feeding it through MQTT to a cloud-based broker or a server for multiple users to access using MQTT clients, perhaps in a dashboard-style visualization app or on various devices such as smartphones or tablets or various types of PCs and laptops. Because of its compact nature, MQTT is also conducive to use in machine-to-machine or M2M applications as well.
Well, it sounds like MQTT can be the right tool to fit a certain set of network criteria.
Well, that's right, Chuck. This is usually called a constrained network. That is, low bandwidth, high latency, data limits, and fragile connections.
Well, does MQTT have a standard associated with it?
Yeah, it does. MQTT is an ISO standard, that is ISO/IEC PRF 20922. In 2013, IBM also submitted MQTT version 3.1 to OASIS, or the Organization for the Advancement of Structured Information Standards. The current version of MQTT is 3.1.1, and the documentation can be downloaded from the MQTT organization website, that is mqtt.org. MQTT is completely open and is free of any licensing fees. Another excellent document can be downloaded by searching on the web for the IBM Redbook MQTT. So just put that into your search engine, IBM Redbook MQTT. These two documents will provide very detailed information regarding the protocol. Another good resource that I found is HiveMQ, which is at hivemq.com. That is HIVEMQ.com.
Great, Mark. Thank you for taking the time to give us a little insight on MQTT and providing some of these nice resources. I appreciate you stopping by and doing this. This has been Chatting with Chuck. This is Chuck checking out.